ho, ho. Here we are. 2018 is here. When we left the last time in 2017, we made a solemn promise that we're going to come back in 2018 with a big bang. And that is exactly what we have done. On your screens this morning, in fact, in the next 363 days, minus the weekends, will be on your screens. All you have to do is to indulge us. This is the breakfast show. That is an award-winning one, the greatest on this continent, on this planet, in Ghana. Good morning, the team is ready. Johnny was the one who went to make sure Mary's baby came. He's back after having done a good job. Was it a CS or was it a normal?
It was a normal. I mean, I think the baby Jesus is very respectful, so he came out. Right. Our only problem now is the tabudan we use. So we need to, the wooden structure. We need to start, if we look for a kinky seller or watch seller, then we bundle the wood and firewood and
now that it is over.
Because until next December,
we'll need that,
and perhaps they will not even come to Choco anymore. They will go to East Legon. So Merry New Year to all of you, or Happy New Year to all of you, all our viewers, and thank you very much for keeping with us and making sure that you watch everything that we produce for you. It's a brand new year, brand new season. Make sure that you're winning. The trick is to get to work early today and to start planning. What you do today will set the tone for what happens. The Hamatan is there, but if we slow down.
It's a difficult morning.
It's a difficult morning.
It was. To be honest, waking up was not easy, but like Johnny rightly said, in my mind, well, this is how you're going to set the tone for the new year, and so you want to start right. And so, of course, it's difficult, but try and get yourself ready. I mean, the taxis were not even on the road. That alone, churches were not there. That alone made me know that everyone is just chilling for the new year. But that's how we will start off for you.
I don't use GPS. There's a favorite cocoa vendor that I use every morning to make sure that I'm on the right road.
She
wasn't there.
So now you were thinking, am I too early or am I too late?
But still the same time.
The cocoa, the watch, and I said, what's happening? Is it that perhaps I got up on the wrong side and that it's a holiday and I'm really rushing to work? The streets are quiet. It doesn't even 2 a.m.
Everybody is minding their business. I mean, I think that, the Hamatan is here. This is where we get the Inkuto rising. So watch your lips, watch your feet. Don't crack them yet. And thank you one more time. Thank you very much. This is the morning show of the year, according to the Ghana Journalists Association. It's all the professionals who came together to say, yes, take the award. So it's not Matra Makwe, you understand? So stay with us. Stay with the best team.
But you guys, how was Christmas? It's a bit zippy zappy, a few excitement here and there. And then
you mean crickum crackum?
Yes. I don't come to work and... but anytime I saw the kids, they were excited. They were screaming and jumping. And
but because they are not the ones buying, they are not the ones doing the spending. They are just enjoying.
At the receiving end.
So if you have to spend, you will know what is happening.
Exactly.
I say next year school Europeans. Come on. School fees.
And January has 6 months. In 1 month.
We'll see how we fix the school fees. We'll fix them anyway. We'll try. The Ghanaian is always a
magician. Certainly.
We'll find a way to fix them.
However, we manage the economy, only George knows. But George has news for us this morning.
My name is George Quinn, and it's now time for news here on the favorite morning show, New Day. Thanks for staying, and we start off with the presidency, where President Nana Addo Kufuor has urged Ghanaians to work harder and support government to ensure development. And the president joined congregants at the Accra Rich Church for the Watch Night service to usher in the new year.
President Kufuor was at the service in the company of his wife Rebecca, family members, to usher in the new year. The Methodist minister, Very Reverend Emmanuel Ayi, admonished Ghanaians to stay focused and draw closer to God in 2018. He prayed for the nation to be fruitful and productive. President Akufo-Addo, in an interview with the media, asked Ghanaians to work harder for the prosperity of the country.
We maintain the unity, the peace and the stability of our country, and we work hard to develop Ghana.
Last year you were in a hurry. 2018, what is now
even faster, even faster.
Okay, thank you very much.
Also at the Teshi Nungwa circuit of the Pentecost Church, congregants ushered in the new year with singing and dancing. Resident Minister Pastor Usu Asari urged Ghanaians to pray for guidance for the country's leadership to enhance development.
Our government has just got 1 year, and this is the second year that he is entering 2018. We have to do our part to support the government.
Apostle Maxwell Martin of the International Kingdom Worshippers Church Teshi called for divine speed in 2018.
I know that 2018 is a year of harvest, and even though things were difficult, this year is not going to be difficult because those that know their God will make exploits.
At the ICGC Teshi, congregants sang praises to usher in the new year. Head Pastor Reverend Samuel Nyako urged Ghanaians to pray and support government to deliver.
Things take time to happen, so we need to give the government time. You must give yourself time. You must give your dream time. You must give your marriage time. You must give your life time. The government must be giving time. Even God takes time to do things. So that's all for Ghana.
Still on the 31st Watch Night service, the transition to usher in the new year 2018 was watched by many, including vigils by the Christian community at various Watch Night services in various churches. For many, it was a holy occasion to renew relationship with Jesus Christ and revise resolutions to face the challenges of the new year.
As early as 8 p.m., some church halls were already full to capacity, with members desirous of seeing off a historic year and welcome another. This was the scene at the House of Liberty International Ministry, Teshi in Accra. The atmosphere was the same at the World Evangelism Ministry, also at Teshi. At the Cedar Mountain Chapel Assemblies of God at East Legon, the lead pastor, Reverend Stephen Wingham, advised all Christians to make prayer key in all their activities to gain the power of God this year.
Anytime anybody carry power, the person fasted. A prayerless Christian is a powerless Christian. You watch Christians who fear fasting, Christians who abhor prayer, they are powerless. I said even mosquitoes are more powerful than them.
The auditorium of the Maranatha Revival Chapel of the Assemblies of God at Middle East Ashaman was filled to capacity. Members rejoiced and thanked God for bringing them to the end of the year. Senior Pastor Reverend Samuel Marod Akwa, using the biblical analogy of Jacob crossing the Jordan to serve Laban, said God will prosper his people as they cross over into the new year.
God will bring a multiplication of everything that you have started doing. God will not want it to stagnate in the coming year. God is going to make somebody abundantly wealthy and rich and prosperous because he, God, did it for Jacob. He will do it also for somebody else.
Meanwhile, at some Orthodox churches like Christ the King Sebrepo, this was an opportunity for them to show appreciation to God for seeing them through for the past 25 years since the establishment of the branch. The service was on the theme, "If it had not been the Lord who was on our side, let Christ the King congregation now say it." The pastor said the Ghanaians' ability to surmount problems is key to development.
Away from 31st Watch Night Service, the Coalition of Eastern Corridor Youth in the Northern Region have called on the Kingdom of Dagbon to accept the decision for a new region. At a demonstration, the group said the creation of the new region will open up the area and attract businesses.
The first Northern Regional capital was Gambaga in the East Mamprusi district during the colonial administration. It was moved to Tamale in the Northern region, which has now assumed a cosmopolitan status and also been described as a fast-growing area in the West African sub-region. The chairman of the Coalition of the Eastern Corridor Youth recounted the acting overlord of Dagbon had pledged to support government policy of regional reorganization. He, however, lamented that some politicians are also kicking against the formation, which will affect the project.
We are not convinced that the decision that was taken was a majority decision and much more unanimous, as the statement did not state the chiefs who were in attendance, how the arguments went, and how the votes for or against the Eastern Corridor region went.
The chairman called on government and the commission in charge of creating new regions to intensify their consultations with the chiefs and the key stakeholders.
In rounding up the year 2017, the Youth in Agriculture Agency under the Ministry of Food and Agriculture has outlined vibrant policies to attract more youth into the sector come 2018. Key among them is an 800 cedis monthly salary for hard-working youth in the sector. The vision is to provide jobs and ensure food security.
Agriculture is by far a lucrative business, but it attracts a few. Although perceptions about the profession prepares to be changing, a lot more remain. Leveraging on the benefits of the transformation of the African Savannah Program, which prioritizes commercial agriculture in Ghana, National Coordinator of the Youth in Agriculture and Aquaculture Program, Kluche Kudomo, is optimistic of great success. A trickle-down effect trial and adaptation model makes good their plans to boost food production. A monthly income of not less than 800 cedis is assured.
If I use that 10 acres of maize farm, I can assure you that he gets a monthly income of not less than 800 Ghana cedi a month, assuming we have an off-taker that takes the produce the moment the grains are produced.
Kluche Kudomo says prospects abound for the youth.
Almost all youth who are interested in agriculture are attached to commercial business partners from whom they will learn, they will achieve, and they will earn. Let me use this platform to tell the youth that they should come and let us do agriculture. Agriculture makes a lot of business meaning to them. Agriculture will employ them, and agriculture will give them a very decent job.
A young commercial farmer, Thomas Abenga, is not optimistic.
We'll bring innovation in, we'll bring some training, bring some awareness. Maybe we invite some foreign farmers who are ahead of us to come and then give us some practical things when it comes to farming. You know, the government should be talking about these are the new policies that we have. The initiative of planting for food is laudable, but we need to start tightening the bolt when it comes to food importation.
He wants a review of some major programs and policies.
We should reinvent the Farmers' Day celebration. Instead of celebrating it in a stadium, let's do it in the farm. Like this one district, one dam. Let's find a district that we can do the big dam there, do all the irrigation, the modern irrigation system. Farmers are over there doing activities, and we'll go and celebrate with them.
And now the concerned Ghanaian Christian says government's vote at the United Nations General Assembly rejecting Jerusalem as the legitimate capital of Israel is unacceptable and is out of place. It is therefore calling on the government to take appropriate measures to reverse the position it has taken to avert calamity.
The United Nations General Assembly in 2017 adopted by a decisive vote of 128 to 9 with 35 abstentions a motion rejecting the U.S. decision to recognize Jerusalem as Israel's capital. Ghana was among 129 countries of the UN General Assembly who decisively backed a resolution effectively calling on the U.S. to withdraw its recognition of Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. At a press conference in Accra, the concerned Ghanaian Christians said government has totally failed to represent Ghanaians on the decision.
That the government's vote is totally unacceptable to the Ghanaian Christian community who form the majority of the population of Ghana. We are calling on the government of Ghana. On this issue of Jerusalem, we are saying they have not spoken for the majority of Ghanaians. And if they doubt what we are saying, they can try it with a referendum. We shall be vindicated.
The group is therefore calling on government to take appropriate measures to reverse the position it has taken to avert calamity.
Côte d'Ivoire moved her capital from Abidjan to Yamoussoukro. Nobody cried foul. Ghana moved her capital from Cape Coast to Accra. Nobody cried foul. Why then can't Israel return to Jerusalem after dispersion into the nations? We would like to also state that history proves that anyone, person or nation that takes a stand against Israel courts divine wrath and disaster.
That's it by way of news this morning. Many thanks for making time with us. For more news updates, log on to our website 3news.com. Alternatively, you can join the news team at 12 on Midday Live. I'm Josh Quinn. Happy New Year.
Welcome back. It's time for newspaper headlines, and of course, we have only today, as of now, ex-President Rawlings supports the call for new faces to lead the NDC in 2020. Also, the Speaker has summoned MPs back to Parliament over cash for seat saga. Then hypertension cases soar along the coastal towns in Western region. That, of course, is many part of the stories that are captured by today.
It's one of the few that's up early, but I know the rest are also there. But
they're getting ready, warming up.
But very interesting issues.
Banner headline hypertension,
yeah?
And why is it along the coast?
Exactly.
Is it a matter of salt and sugar or stress? What is it?
Well, they say medical doctors have identified hypertension, overweight and diabetes at an alarming rate along the coastal towns in the western region. Of the 21,000 and more people in the 14 fishing communities in the region, it mentions some numbers, but basically they haven't really outlined exactly
so
what
the overweight there could be due to people not exercising.
Yes, the sedentary lifestyle.
I don't know. Maybe, of course, the women who do a lot of work around the fishing sector, they move around a lot. They go to the beach, buy the fish. Sometimes they carry them to where they grill and dry them. And so, I don't know, maybe our market women perhaps could be the reason. A lot of them virtually sit the whole day, and so they gain a lot of weight. I mean, if you go to the various markets, you can see, you can easily observe what I'm talking about. Most of them have that kind of figure that you can draw a conclusion that something might be going wrong. So perhaps it could be, you know, the western region has several markets there. And so it could be a reason why these persons getting this hypertension.
And you know the point which you raised, which is the fact that people oftentimes assume that when it comes to market women, because they're walking around, they have to trade from one point to another, and so they are unlikely to have that particular lifestyle. But you also realize that once they get to their office, let me call it, they sit. You're just behind your wares and you're selling, and so most often, the most they'll walk is probably to another colleague to ask, oh, do you have this I could borrow or something? But they don't really do active walking. They do just, you know, cursory walking around. And then also when they sit there, because most of them don't take their own food, so they end up buying anything that seems to pass across them. There's buffaloes, there's polo, there's fried yam passing, mama crash. So I think that is what we have to highlight.
Even more dangerous, you find that they would like to eat from the chop bars, and in doing so, their ponching kakra comes with all its excesses. If you buy the aponchi kakra and you put it down and then it cools off, you will find the oil. It's right there. They
nice.
consume all these things. Oh, we were told it's nice, but you know, they consume these things. Beyond that, some of them drink as well. You know, the yebudidi attitude. You know, they need a little push so they can eat.
The appetite.
Exactly. So there are so many things that come to play, and they need to look at it. Once a while is okay, but if it becomes a regular, thing, then that's a problem.
So the health ministry is aware of it. Let's see how. But I think that, you see, we as a nation, I think we should take our health issues quite seriously. I don't know if this story ahead is right, that in some parts of China, there's a particular time where a siren, or everyone there knows of that time, and so at that time a siren rings and you're supposed to exercise for 5 minutes. I don't know if it's only a story or if indeed it is true, but I guess we should take our health seriously. Look, if we're able to get these persons to exercise, if we're able to get people to take care of preventive health care, we'll not be spending a lot of money having to import medicines. So
I know that the Ghana Health Service started a program, Regenerative Health. I don't know what has become of it, encouraging people to eat fruits and exercise, which is why the Ghana Health Service headquarters has a gymnasium. But you want to ask yourself, how many of the staff at the headquarters go to the gym themselves? And those who are close by, because the situation of that gym had the courts there, you had the national lotteries, you had the guys from Tema Station. So the expectation was that those people around those places, the banks and everybody else, will go and patronize it so they can improve. But years down the line, what's the patronage like? And so you want to ask yourself these questions. In China, for example, after every meal, they take a warm cup. Here, would like to drink the iced water, and then right after that, would like to sleep. So we're killing ourselves with our own money.
So when the belly is full.
Even back to the school feeding program, have you seen the meals? Have you seen what they serve them on the menu? How many times do we actually see vegetables or fruits being added to those meals? So right from the basic level, I mean, the child doesn't see the fruits and vegetables as an important part of your meal, and so they grow up thinking it's the same, or they're not even used to it because the taste is acquired. So if you don't acquire it as a child, as an adult, you certainly will, you know, I mean, it feels like grassing.
Growing up as children, you know, we're told that is kenke and fish, rice and stew, yam and palava sauce. So for us, the carbohydrate comes in larger quantities and is the main thing. Whereas, say in Europe or the US, it is chicken and chips. You get it. So
small chips.
Yes.
Very small.
Yes. And so the protein is, but ours, I mean, somebody has 2 large balls of cake and a small tiny fish with some pepper. You know, that's the food. So the practice that we have, eating from home.
I remember my grandmother. If you eat and you go and tell her that you're not full, then she tells you to go and drink water to
fill it up.
It's like a bucket. Top it up.
But this is a very important matter, and I think that is a subject for the Minister of Health, the Agric Minister, to also look at. I think that the eating habits of people and how often people would like to visit the hospital or exercise is very crucial to us. But again, I say this is a social protection issue, because if you have a larger chunk of your citizenry who have diabetes, who have hypertension and all those things, it means that their work output will be reduced. It means that you would have to, there will be a time when they will put pressure on you to subsidize insulin and any other medication that will be necessary.
That's for an exchange.
Exactly. So we need to pay critical attention to it at this particular time. I am happy that the president, even after 70, is able to do 4, 5, 6 assignments and still look healthy. There must be a secret to it. There must be something he's doing right. Perhaps he would want to share with his contemporaries, the 60s, the 50s, so they can learn and improve upon their lives. But as for this, it's not good news, especially to start the year.
Well, this is not captured in the news, but as we're talking about this whole festive season and living a particular lifestyle, there's a growing concern of the children in vehicles and how the parents or the caretakers actually handle them in the vehicles.
Right.
Over this Christmas period, I realized quite a number of children are still allowed to sit in the front of cars without, seat belts.
Yeah.
And it's worrying. I don't know why parents would actually think it's fine or it's okay to entertain a child like that. Because for all you know, the child doesn't understand what is going on. You see, for me, it's building a particular, idea into the child, thinking this is the way it is done. It's okay for me to sit in the front without a strap, without a seat belt. And they grow up doing this and it becomes a lifestyle. It is wrong. Your child should not be in the front of a seat without a seat belt, number one. If it's a toddler too, they should not be on your lap attempting to drive. What's the whole point of that? You are putting the child's life at risk and
And you see,
yourself.
funny enough, I've heard and seen some educated people make the argument that, oh, my car has airbag and all of that. Even you, the adult, when the car crashes and the airbag pops
Blows
out,
in your face.
how do you feel? Now, put a 2 or 3 year old girl there or boy and make touch wood, but let the airbag go off.
They can suffocate.
They can die.
Yeah.
Easily.
They can die. So we want to show off our affluence and wealth. We want to encourage people, but I think that sometimes we learn too much. We become unwise.
Yeah.
And we need to start watching it.
As the trees will say, yes,
It's
bad. But TV license, have you paid yours?
No, I haven't. And I think
but you own a TV.
I do. You see, in a country where people are charged, I know that some people will take me on for this, but I'll speak my mind anyway. Yeah. In a country where people are, yes, it's a free country. People are charged taxes to import TV and to own a TV, and then now you are charged to own the TV for life is a big problem.
Every year.
Now, you know that the argument is that yes, in Europe, in America, and wherever it is, people pay TV license. But the BBC, which is run with the state's fund or the TV license, doesn't do commercial business on the side.
Exactly.
Our own Ghana Broadcasting Corporation runs a marketing department that takes adverts and puts stuff there. If I am supposed to be paying for what they put on air, why are they taking money on the side? What is the money for? So I've just seen that we have set up a court. The caveat is that you pay or you go to jail. But nobody is talking about scrapping the marketing department at the Ghana Broadcasting so they don't earn extra kwacha. That it doesn't add up. So you want to do what is done there, but you don't want to do the complete thing. You're not completing your process. And I tend to side with A+, even though I think that he should not just be shouting, he should go to court as well, because this has become
Johnny, do we need to go to court over this?
I don't know, but see,
I think the government of the day should quickly step in and stop this.
Come on, look, and the painful part is this, where you have a national activity going on, and you have the state broadcaster, for example, showing cartoons, and you start wondering, okay, so what exactly is happening?
Yeah.
There's a national activity going on, and you expect that, if nobody at all will show it, the state broadcaster will lead the fray. And then you find the state broadcaster showing cartoons or something that is not related to any of what is happening. And then you wonder, okay, so why is it the state broadcaster? Because as far as I know, the National Communication Authority grants 3 licenses. One as a public service broadcaster, one as a commercial entity, and 2 as a rural or community entity.
Right.
So that if you are the state broadcaster and yours is to do public service broadcast, how different is your broadcast from, for example, what we do, what UTV does, what GH1 does, what ETV? How different is yours from what we do? You're doing basically the same things we do. We are running a private business. We are supposed to be breaking even, making profit and all of that. You are not, your first point of call is not to make any profit at all. And yet you want to compete and still get from us. It doesn't make meaning.
Johnny,
I don't get it.
I know people will argue that let us go to court. Look, I think that it is not a matter of court. We made the law. If we have come to realize, and I am sure that every citizen of this country is opposed to this TV license thing. If we have come to realize that we erred in making that law, let us go back and throw it away. Look, I remember the toll levy thing that Parliament passed it. I don't think that we went to court to do. Let no one argue that, well, it is a law, so let's go to court. No, we made a law. If we think that the law is rubbish, let us throw it away. See, I am amazed at the fact that this has become an issue that people will go to jail. Already our prisons are choked. The last 2 weeks, the prison officers were here. The man who speaks for the prison service sat on this very platform and said that they can't even contain the numbers in the prisons. Yeah. And we have set up court to jail people for not paying TV license, for Christ's sake. Then every Ghanaian is going to, because I don't know, I'm not too sure if I own a TV, but I don't think that this is indeed the way to go. Certainly. If we're talking about nuisance taxes, this is one of them. This is one of them. Look, I've seen, listened to hoteliers complaining that, look, they own a hotel room of 500. Okay. Each of the room has a TV set, a TV monitor, which means they're going to pay that much, and it is killing their business. Yeah. Okay, and they are not alone. All other people are complaining. Look, we made the law. It is rubbish. If we have agreed that it is rubbish, let us scrap it. Let us not talk about going to court to do anything.
Senior Bright, you know the interesting thing.
We're wasting resources. Yeah. If we have agreed, and I have heard and spoken to people who think that this is indeed not bad for us, let us stop it before it gets out of hand.
Senior Bright, you know the interesting thing. So you spoke about the hoteliers, but if I am a TV vendor, and I sell TV, say for a wholesale, I need to also get a license.
Yeah. Exactly.
Now, so so I pick a license to sell the TV. You come and buy, and you would have to go and pay another. So that's more like multiple taxation in its own sense. It doesn't add up. Now, if I run a hotel, and for example, in South Africa, there's the SABC, and the quality of the programming of the SABC itself contends or competes with the DSTVs. So if you go to South Africa, you find people watching the state broadcaster. They enjoy it because the content is good. Now, if I run a hotel and I cannot afford to buy DSTV or which other decoders are available for sale, and I want my clients to watch free to air, what do they tune into? Let's go to every single room and check what the people are watching at a particular point in time. Look, I maintain that before we want to, or before we make the step to want to charge people for this thing, we must be complete in our process. There are prerequisites.
GTV must stop running commercial business.
And I don't think that. Look, I think that a lot more people, as you said, will go to jail. But the prison officers have told us.
Then they should be ready, because
the prison officers have told us that the prisons are choked.
Yeah, they are.
Now, and I'm wondering why, as a country, we are so interested in just custodial sentences. Somebody does something, and then we put them. And meanwhile, circle is grassy. We need somebody to weed it. People.
We need people to paint for free
and clear the gutters. And we want to put everybody in jail and feed them with the money that we say we don't have.
With the money that you are going to collect for the levy, which the person didn't pay. It really doesn't make sense.
Jenny, the point that you raised, I again, let no one bring in this argument that if you go to Europe or UK and so they pay. If you want to pay, you can go to UK and go and pay. Nobody will stop you. But like we've been saying, in the UK, okay, when you have a baby, they pay you for it. People are not working, are paid. So if you want to charge TV licenses based on the fact that in UK they charge TV licenses, the government should be ready to also pay us unemployment benefits and all that. Yeah. Then we can make a way.
Look, I am
the situation is not the same.
I am for the state broadcaster becoming strong.
Why not?
But I am not for us getting past everybody to make sure it's done.
No, that's our job.
The state broadcaster is supposed to be funded by us. Yeah. As we speak, their electricity bills, their water bills, their salaries and everything, overheads are catered for, a larger portion of it. The appointments of their bosses and everything else is done from us, the state, I mean. So you would want to ask yourself that if, for example, TV3 is able to appoint people, employ people, and run the business and make money, or break even, whichever it is. Why can't we impress upon the state broadcaster to do so? Why are people not interested necessarily in watching the state broadcaster? Because now the state broadcaster even has the main GTV, it has GTV Sports Plus, it has GTV Live, it has GTV Govern and all of that. So the options are there. But why aren't people watching? If you look at the ratings on Geopol, Ipsos and all of that, why aren't they coming up? There's a fundamental problem that we need to first of all fix than to want to come to collect money. Let us fix the content problem. When we fix the content, people will watch End of story.
Johnny, I am saying, look, one big suggestion. If the state broadcaster, I don't know, are they under the information ministry or the communications ministry? I guess it would be the information ministry.
Yes, information.
If the information ministry is unable to raise money for is it Ghana Broadcasting?
Yes.
They should use our oil money. We have oil.
Right.
Is it not our own money?
Don't even give them suggestions. Yes, certainly.
No, it's our own money. So instead of telling us that come and pay, please, the oil money is there. Go and use it. It's as simple as that.
No, but again, my question or my worry is, what brought us to this point? What led them to think that at this point, Ghanaians are ready to pay TV levy?
Well,
because really, all the explanations that have come up don't seem to be able to justify the reason to pay. Because, like we said, with the towing levy, we realized that there was a gap. We didn't understand. There was no point because I don't see why everyone should pay for one person to benefit. And so we went back and forth and then finally was taken away. Likewise, this TV license. I don't think the problem is the fact that TV license at some point cannot be paid because like you said, Ghanaians will live outside in UK and will pay because the structures are laid down properly for them to appreciate the need to pay. Is that the same in Ghana?
Okay, I want to help the those who think that we should pay TV license. So make it this way. If I don't pay TV license, don't give me the state broadcaster on mine. Scramble the channel so that when I pay, I can get
Johnny,
it.
the argument there is that it is not for the fact that you're watching the state broadcaster.
No, for owning the TV.
Owning the equipment.
Yes, but I'm saying that the bigger picture is that because you want to support the state broadcaster, I am saying that if you like, I'm not paying.
Okay.
So let's take it that then you are scrambling because if you are doing pay TV, but this is free to air. It just doesn't add up.
No, I will just cripple them now.
Look, I am so sad.
That's why they're finding this other way.
I am so sad. Look, these young boys and girls you see selling PK and chewing sticks and others on the street, they own this. The one we call the how do you call it? The hunchback TV. The one that is like okay. That small boy who was selling chewing stick to get 1 cedi to buy kinky. You are going to ask him to pay money because he's going to buy that small 14-inch hunchback and is watching.
But
how?
You know,
it's a sad situation. Look, it's a sad because see, if we're not careful, we have complained that in our rural communities, because of lack of entertainment, our people are having sex and are giving birth in a local palace by heart.
Yes.
Now, if you were going to jail them, they will end up throwing their TV sets away.
Yeah.
And when the TV is not there, the next thing is that 13 years are sleeping, 14 years they are sleeping, and that's what's going to happen.
It's already happening. Look, Bright, and perhaps what the formulators are also forgetting is that I can watch TV on my phone, on my smartphone. If I buy data, I will watch TV. I don't need to own a TV to watch TV. Things have changed, so the law is obsolete. Let's fix the law. We don't lack the legal brains in this country.
We should hold a national dialogue.
Let's have. You know that before this TV license thing came up, the National Service brought up its own insurance.
Yes.
Now, what happened to it?
It's been taken off.
It's been taken off. So the people for which you are creating these things for say no. You are going on the wrong path. We need to check it. Good morning to you, Mr. President. Good morning to you, Her Ladyship, the Chief Justice. We love you all, and we want the state broadcaster to rise, but we want things done in a very special way. And good morning to the latest award winner in town, Christian Ejay Frimpo, my brother to New FM. He is the People's Celebrity Radio show host of the year. Congratulations to you, dear brother, and we wish you better.
Let me also greet these guys, the Ghana Battalion in DR Congo. Hey, you're watching us this morning.
Oh, nice.
We're grateful.
Carry on.
The Press Information Officer, Captain Dela Donyo, and your team. Have a good morning. We know you're watching. You've been watching us every morning. We commending all the team there for the good work you people are doing. We ate Christmas without you, but we know you also did the same.
You also dodged the bullets without us.
Happy New Year, and I'm sure we'll continue to stay.
And happy birthday to you, Audrey Na Adole Biltmokum. It's your birthday today. If it's your birthday as well, happy birthday to you, Adole Bu. Happy birthday, and grow well and live long. And if it's your birthday today, happy birthday to you. All our new viewers, welcome. This is how we do it.
Yes.
It's the best morning show in town, according to the GJ.
But a final happy birthday to a special man. I mean, he's a doctor at Kolebu. Everyone knows him. Every medical student who passed through UGMSD knows him, and he is Dr. Samuel Jepiati. Happy birthday. Stay blessed. We love you.
No, say the name with swag.
Yeah, Dr. Samuel Jepiati.
And there are people
he's awesome. I mean,
and
he's
there
a
are people
man
who say
with a
Japiati.
No, we'd be very upset if I did that because he says his name very accurately. But he is a great person. Right. He's a teacher with a difference.
But it's time
the
birthdays have started. And
yeah.
It's interesting. 2018, we're just recycling the same.
Some people don't have birthdays.
January is on.
We'll catch them in 2018. But we're talking about the beaches. I don't know if you visited the beach anytime recently, but when you go there, do you feel secure? Is that enough security at our various...
No.
You let me in.
No, you won't end. You see, even those who claim to have set up stalls and locations for you to come and have fun, the point of security is not there. I mean, try and go to any of our beaches, take off your clothes, put it in your bag or whichever item and leave it. Get into the water, swim 200-300 meters and come back after 40 minutes. It will be gone.
Johnny, if there's nobody, long time span you've given.
No, but you see,
even a minute, by the time you reach the shore,
yes, it's gone. Somebody will take it. So if I traveled into the country and I want to enjoy your beaches, because even though it's not clean, I still want to enjoy it regardless. What do I get for it? Number two, where people try to rip people off at the beaches. You know, a drink costs 2 cedis. You get to the beach, it's 5 cedis, and because you don't have an option, you are forced to buy it. Where people mass up and set up gates or places that you must go through, and you have to pay money before you get through. I mean, these are things we need to start looking at, and it's a shame that 60 years down the line, we're still talking about some of these things. It's a shame. It's a big shame that 60 years down the line, we still have rubbish, proper rubber and polythene bags in our water. So you're swimming and then it hits your face. You don't know where it comes from, and then you don't know where it's been, and you're wondering, are African gems really harmful or not?
Johnny, I think we should begin to start avoiding these places because that's the only way out. I was driving along the Keshi Lagoon, although this side of the car. So there's a new one up there. I said, let me go and check what's happening there. So I turned right, drove in there, and then I saw the sign. So an elderly woman came and said, it's 10. I said, what are you doing here? And she said, nothing. It's a normal day. Then I said, but do you sell the drinks as would have been sold out here? She said, oh, the drinks have something extra on it. And I said, so why are you charging me 10 cedis for not doing anything?
Right.
Okay. So I don't know if we start.
We should boycott it.
This, I mean. You go there, you're not even safe. You're swimming, and there's nobody watching you. You could even drown. So if we start,
the so-called lifeguards are just disappointed fishermen who I mean,
they're going to fish you out of the sea.
There's too much trouble in this country sometimes. But it's a happy new year. Enjoy George Quinny and his folk out there.
Today is a public holiday. This is a time where people would want to go and have fun, relax their mind at recreational facilities or even tourist sites. But how well are these facilities with regards to safety and security? This is Daily Rant. Let's keep talking.
You are your own security here because there is no police or anyone to guide you. You are here to have fun. So you should be careful on what you do and how you move. That's the only security you have. But other than that, I don't think there is any security here.
I come here every time to have fun here at La Pleasure Beach. I don't go to any beach apart from La Pleasure Beach. Why? Because La Pleasure Beach is boast of security, tight security everywhere. You can find out from the gate. They have the scan machines that scan people to know whether you're carrying a weapon or something. You know, from there you see the police people are around. They have the internal security working through in mufti and stuff like that.
Talk about they scanning you, but I've never experienced anything like that here.
That one is true. It's true, but sometimes it's only the cars. I mean, what I've seen, I've witnessed is only the car that they scan them, but the individual that comes in, they don't scan them. They will just check you. Sometimes they don't check you. They just pay, you enter. You pay, you enter.
What they check is just the money. They are so interested in the receipt. But to scan you to find out whether you are having...
I don't believe so. I don't believe so. I've been coming here always. It's not about the money, bro. If it's about the money, after all, We all live in houses and we live in the area. And
Now, also, he was talking about scanners and everything at the security gate. Is there a reason why you come to, let's say, Labadi Beach? Because when you say, oh, your security is guaranteed.
Oh, I don't think about security if I come here. I only think of coming to have fun. Just enjoy. Because if we are talking about security, sometimes maybe if someone is drowning, okay, fine, I have not witnessed that before, so I can't say much. But if you are talking about security, unless one,
George, listen, I totally don't agree with the lady for once. You know, because if there are no security here, like this beautiful woman cannot be sitting here. I'm sitting here. I've been coming here. I've been coming here for the past 20 years. Yes, I've been coming here if not Saturday, Sunday, I do come here, and I come here sometimes in the night. You understand? But you know.
You understand? The people that are around are not violent, but that doesn't mean that someone is protecting you.
My brother, they know the situation, the security. Those people, they are ready people because everywhere, if you be a men's home, they are ready people, but they know the security of La Pleasure Beach. That's why they are not doing that. I don't. You can from here. The woman can go and verify from the gate, and I can even because I've been coming here always. I know some of the security guys in Mufti because I quite remember some years back when I came here with a woman, my girlfriend. Somebody took her phone from her. Oh. But before we got to the gate, so I decided not to chase the fellow. But before we
because when you say you get the phone,
before we realized, 2 policemen brought the phone and the man.
That is true because you know the gate is not only the entrance to this place.
3 or 4 gates here. You get it? I quite remember the last time I came here with a friend and his girlfriend. They were sitting on this table, exactly table. I decided to go to the washroom. When I came back, their phone, their bag is gone. While they have security around, you get it? We couldn't find the person who took it. So we just stood here, and my friend said, oh, I should borrow him money to send his girlfriend to the house. You could see just a few minutes that we stood up, their money, their phones are gone. You get it? But for you to think or to have an assurance that security is here, yes, securities are here, but if you don't take time, my dear, even your body will be taken off.
Seriously, that's why I said you have to. It depends on how you take care of yourself. But Uber Jane said there is security, so that is all.
George, what are they saying? What are they saying? Even in our houses, that they've locked. We will lock you.
Talking as if police guy don't.
Yeah, no, it's not that.
But it's not like that.
But if you are saying, sir, if you are not comfortable with the security, I want to ask. Who say everywhere at the beach, who police and at the Mintias. How?
On occasion days, like maybe on the 1st January, 25th December, on Easter Friday, Easter Month, that day, that one you can see military men and policemen around. Do you get what I'm saying?
I totally disagree with them because I've been coming here. I have over 20 years experience. It doesn't. A policeman is not always in a police uniform. So
somewhere mufti.
You can't tell me that because you will not see a policeman walking around, there is no security. My brother, George, if here that we are sitting,
there is no security. Like you are misunderstanding everything. I'm only trying to say that fine, you can't say security anyhow, but it depends on the way you comport yourself. It's very important. If you don't comport yourself, because there is security here, they wouldn't deal with you or like you are safe.
You share other tourist sites. Maybe Kakum National Park, you know, Kintampo Waterfalls, for instance, maybe at the ACA. And he says, see the number of people who died. Oh, sure, no, sir, no. If security was very tighter, would that thing have happened?
For death, normally death, I don't really want to talk about death and security. Also, there are certain things it is bound to happen. Even Obi or like let's say that the whole house you can see security guide, whoever, but if something is bound to happen, it happens.
Now when you say because security okay, and they will know say okay, this tree is weak and let's cut it.
There is no way you could see, sir, you will count all the trees there. Oh, this one is weak, this one will not fall. But it could shock you that
George, for me, I disagree with them. I'm somebody that I don't believe in superstition. I believe in safety, precautions. You understand? That's a tourist side, and that's what the tree is part of the thing that makes there a tourist center. So at least there should be people to take care of the tree, be cutting the and making it. So those people, where were they? Didn't they see that there was cracks?
Don't you even know that you can check your whole everything? You can check all the trees.
They will fail you.
And it just happens maybe today as the people are there. What about that one?
You can check the trees and it will not happen. You will see that maybe there are cracks. So you cut the tree and it will not happen.
Let me remind you this. We are in this country and one of our MPs got murdered. You get it? He had security, he had dogs, he had CCTV cameras, but he was murdered in his own cold blood in his house. You get it? So are you telling me, say, the security couldn't do anything about it?
For instance, Mabaha. Yes, for instance, Mabaha. Maybe who should I blame?
No.
Or who should my parents blame?
No, your parent cannot blame anybody because when you have security,
you went into.
No, but I know maybe security should be tight here. So at least if I'm swimming now, I should get lifeguards here.
We have indicators here that if you come here, they will show you that don't swim here, swim here. Don't go here. So if you are going to that direction, they'll whistle for you to come back. But upon all this whistle and you still want to go to that extent and you drown, that one is your own palaver.
That comes to the Kintampo issue. For what you just said, which means precautions are being taken here. So why can't that same precautions be taken at Kintampo? I'm somebody that don't believe that it was born to happen. But for you and me, you know that security in Ghana, even our MPs and president, is not.
Doctor, but
Ghanaian security is the best in the whole Africa. Let me tell you, in the whole Africa, Ghanaian security is the best.
From which book? They themselves, the legislature themselves are complaining. They say their security is not tight.
What do you think the government should do to ensure that security at tourist sites are improved? Because, for instance, if me Kobe Bina know say all the time I'm safer, it will make me want to go there. So what do you think the government should do to improve security at tourist sites?
Oh, for me, I think government is doing enough. It's doing, but maybe it's not enough. The police service should come on board. The military should come on board. NADMO should come on board. Even Red Cross should also come on board. You know, because what happened at Kintampo, maybe if Red Cross was there, maybe they could have done something. Maybe in quote. So I think all stakeholders should come on board to make tourist centers in Ghana work again.
The young ones, if a young one is coming to a tourist center or probably Labadi Beach to swim or something, there should be someone who is an adult to guide the person. But like they leave the case.
Didn't they come with their parents?
Most come, but I'm only talking about those who come alone.
Okay.
You should guide them, and someone should be there to guide them as to where to go and as to where not to go. I think it will help.
And I'll talk about those who swim like in the sea. But like one thing that I would prefer and I want the government to enhance those things like the swimming costumes and like swimming lifeboats and those things that they normally use to swim. At least if you are entering into the sea, you should have those things. You should have it. And it shouldn't be like every day you should pay. You know, if I'm coming to swim and I have to pay for those things, I won't love to come and swim. I'll just come and sit down. Because the lifeguards here, they are paying them. So if they are paying...
I disagree with him. If you are coming to swim, why should government provide life jackets and stuff like that?
Going to board a ship or a boat to travel to another, they don't provide those things for you.
Those places.
You paid for the fare. You paid for the fare purposely because if you pay for the gate, when you want to climb the ferry or something, you have to pay again. You understand? So that money being paid.
If I bought a car and I'm traveling from here to Kumasi and I pay for the transportation and I have an accident, are you telling me that I will not have?
So it means that people here should give regulars life jackets to swim.
Yes, that was what I'm
but it's not done.
It's not done. It's not done anywhere. I can't. Not even one. I can't see that. It's only the swimming board that I can see that they have it for the kids and a rubber tie, those things. It's not good.
If I know I will swim, I should prepare.
Maybe I want to be adventurous.
Okay, then maybe you join Castro and be adventurous more. You see, because if I don't know how to swim, why should I even go and swim? But if I know I want to come and swim, I'll prepare well.
and come. Safety and security at our tourist sites have been a concern to many. How would you assess security at our various tourist sites in the country? And these are the concerns of some revelers who came to La Pleasure Beach to have fun. If you want to join this discussion, just log on to our social media platforms. On Facebook, it's News on TV3, and on Twitter, it's our News TV3.
What are we talking about today?
Okay, today I want to talk about the state of the economy.
Welcome back now. The Today newspaper is what I have here on the front page. Hypertension cases soar. If you get to the middle page, is quite very exciting stories you can see. Page 4, President promises more action in 2018. Chief Justice set up special court to prosecute defaulters of TV license fees. The center page, that is pages 12 and 13, Mahama welcomes prosecution of ministers. Rawlings turns hit on Akufo-Addo. Osewusu Lord's minority, and A+ opposes TV license fees. These are some of the stories I have. My guest to do the talking is a member of the NPP's communication team, Nana Damwa is here. Nana, good morning.
Thank you very
much.
And
Happy New Year. We are back.
We're back, by the grace of God.
Thanks so much for coming. And then a former member of Parliament for the Ablekuma Central constituency, a member of the NDC, Theophilus Tetechai is also here. Good morning, Happy New Year to you.
Good morning.
We are back to begin the service. Now let's start this morning with this story that came out in the course of the festivities. We're told that the Chief Justice has set up a special court to prosecute individuals who will default in the payment of their TV license fees. Now, this is as a request made to the judiciary by the Ghana Broadcasting Director General Dr. Kwame Akufo-Addo in November 2017. The letter cited by Today and dated December 2017 requested said that the court will be in all the 10 regions, will start sitting on January 4. The courts located in the regions are to sit every Thursday with effect from 4th January 2018 until otherwise directed. The time for the court sitting is 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. This is from Section 1A of the Television Licensing Amendment Law 1991, which states as follows: any person who contravenes any provision of this law or regulation shall be guilty of an offense and shall be liable on conviction to a fine or to imprisonment for a term not exceeding 1 year. That's the story. A lot of commentary on that story. The same paper carries a story on page, I think page 4. How do I call it? Resistance to the issue there. A member of the NPP Plus is against this TV license fees and is asking that it should be scrapped immediately. That story is captured on page 13 by the Today newspaper. Now, his suggestion is that already Ghanaians are under pressure and there's no need to burden them more with this kind of fee or levy. Now, let me begin with you. A lot of commentary have passed when this issue came up, the Chief Justice Court. Now, as a society, the suggestion by some is that we should go back and sit down and discuss this law again, since it looks as if a lot of people are against payment of this TV license fee. How would you react to this?
Well, good morning once again, and good morning to the people of Ghana. Once again, a new year has begun. It's full of new opportunities, and I would ask that we should all look at it as such, put our hands to the wheel, and work hard and pray that the good Lord will also bless our efforts. This issue of TV license fees is a very troublesome one. I'll be very honest with you. I mean, here I speak for myself as an individual, and it's a dicey case. It's a very, very dicey case. I will not blame the Chief Justice in as much as the law existed and her attention was drawn to it and a request was made. She virtually had nothing to do but do what she has done, which is set up the courts to ensure that it has worked. I think that GBC and its Director General could have gone about it in a much better way. Honestly speaking, I think that they could have gone about it in a much better way. And I wouldn't want to dwell too much on this issue except to call on them to revisit this issue and, you know, find ways and means of going about it, rather than what it is that they are seeking to do. I'm not so happy about this matter at all.
You think perhaps a national dialogue will need to revisit the TV license fee again?
I think so. You see, governance is a very complex matter. This law has been on our books since 1991. In 1991, conditions were different than what it is today. And even though times have changed, we haven't gone back to revisit the laws because, well, we never saw the need to do that. And today there is an opportunity and someone has decided to activate certain sections of the law, which has put all of us in this position. We obviously will need to relook at the entire TV license agenda and its relevance in modern day, taking into consideration our present times. Look, back in the day, it was just about GTV or GBC, which was a major broadcaster. There were all of these, you know, a lot of thinking went into it in 1991. The law was passed in 1991. No problem. We're in 2018. I nearly said 2017. But we are in 2018. Times have changed. I mean, content is all over. The digital world has brought up so many television stations that we cannot even count. Is this still relevant in this time? And if it is, how are we even going to do? There are several issues that come up that have not been satisfactorily answered at this moment. If we're not careful, what we are going to do is to punish individuals unduly for things that they shouldn't be punished for. So I would call that, look, let's hold on. Let's proceed on this matter very carefully, extremely carefully, and then find a way of bringing a general consensus to deal with this matter. Again, I must point out that this has nothing to do with the presidency or the government in power. A law was created and put down. An independent state agency has decided that it will activate certain sections of that law in its own favor. The Chief Justice's hands were virtually tied because to have ignored that was to ignore the law which eventually sits in her bosom. So we found ourselves in this position. Let's not seek to say that it is a government of the day that has, you know, done this or has sought to bring undue hardship to the people of Ghana, among others. The president is working for the good people of Ghana. I don't see how the president may have even known this about some of these things until the point where it has now come out, it has become public, then he may, you know, call. But then, but even in such instances, the state's broadcaster, several attempts have been made to make it independent to an extent. So his intervention, even if he was, you know, willing to make one, might be viewed as seeking to take away some element of that independence. So to be fair, I think that it's an action that has been taken by the state broadcaster. It has been taken in its favor. It is within the law. It is perfectly legal. But at this point, I don't think that it is relevant. We need to relook it. We need to engage everybody again and come to a national consensus.
Could the state broadcaster had gone through this process without the knowledge of the Ministry of Information?
Those are matters that I would have to inquire about before I speak to it, because honestly I cannot sit here and say I know. I don't. Okay. I don't have any information to that extent. All I can say at this moment is that the public outcry is enough to convince anybody who thinks that this would have been a one-off measure to relook at it. And there should be that. I think that all the decision makers in this should sit down and look at it again and draw that conclusion that we should relook at it.
Whether we want it or not.
Because you see, laws must reflect the beliefs of our society. Right. This law, yes, it is there. It has been on our books. But the public outcry clearly tells you that in 2018 Ghanaian society, majority of the people don't want this. And let us not oppress the people with laws that we have on our books from times past. It won't help us.
I'm grateful. Honorable Tetechai, is there the need for us all to sit down as society and take a look at this law again, TV license fee law?
Yeah, thank you very much. Let me say Happy New Year to your viewers, and then Happy New Year to you and my colleague. I believe that this new year will bring good things in the life of this country. Yeah, this law has been in existence for so many years. Laws are made for a purpose, okay? And it gets to a point, some of the laws becomes obsolete, or it becomes unnecessary to even apply. And therefore, some reviews have to be done. But in the case of GBC, it has not been done. And the current management, through the support of the judiciary, thinks that this is the time for us to be prosecuted for not paying the licenses that have been brought to the fore. But the question we need to ask ourselves, what have triggered all these things? We need to be fair with GTV or GBC as a public broadcasting station. Because they are public, they mostly depend on resources from government. Okay? If you look at the content of GBC, some of the things that they do, some public TV, radio stations will not do such programs. But most of the programs that they do are not for profit making. Okay? And so therefore, to a large extent, you expect that government will support these public broadcasting stations because they also have a vacuum that they also feel. Okay? Now, if government is not responding to its, needs, or to the needs of GBC, and management finds it necessary to activate this law to ensure that they rake in some revenue, definitely they are within the law to implement those things. But the question is, what is the effect of the law that they want to activate? Do you imprison people because they are not able to pay TV license fee? Is that what we want to subject the good people of this country to?
Yeah, that's what the law says. A fine or a
that's what I'm saying. Say yes, the laws are on our books, but times have changed. Gone were those days when GBC was the sole information sharing agency in the country. Today, we have private entities, radio, TV stations, which are performing very, very well. They have their own content that the viewing public think they need those contents and therefore are ready to pay. I believe that what GBC needs to do is to also have, let's say, a digital channel.
Yeah, they have.
Exactly.
They have all of them.
Exactly, where people can access through maybe a decoder. So that if I find it interesting to watch GBC, I pay for it. In our homes, people have Go TV, Star Times, so many networks, and they pay at the end of the month. But they are not subjected to, prosecution. No. So I think it is misplaced, the setting up of the courts to prosecute the already impoverished Ghanaian. In fact, are we looking at our rural folks, what they go through to even access information? And that is the role of GBC. And that is the more reason why Ghanaians are angry with this decision. And for me, government needs to step in as quickly as possible within the end of this week until a single Ghanaian is prosecuted. Because the essence of GBC is to transmit information to all the citizens within the country. That is their core mandate. They are not profit-oriented. And they are not profit-oriented because it is the duty of government to ensure that GBC is adequately what? Resourced. Go to GBC today. The structures are all dilapidated. Virtually nothing is going on properly within GBC. And GBC is just some few...
we shall Commonwealth.
Exactly. Together with the Flagstaff House, the seat of the presidency. And anytime government wants to do an activity, they sometimes break into their programs, and then government program is aired live. You see, that is the disparity that we all need to look at. Okay? If they were to be profit-oriented, let's take TV3 for instance. You are profit-oriented, although you are rendering social services, but it's because of your content. That is why people want to watch TV3. Now, as a result of your content, you rig in a lot of revenue from companies that wants to support some of the programs that you air. And as a result, you are able to take care of your staff and the infrastructural needs of the company. What about GBC? You go to GBC, their programs are choked because anytime government wants to do an activity, they have to break into and then make sure that that activity is aired. So why don't we want to put resources in ensuring that...
You're asking for more funding from government.
Exactly. It's because of the lack of funding. That is why they now want to ensure that the public pay. Why should you say that I should pay for the television that I've bought and not the content that you are providing to me? I don't think it's right. It is the content that you are providing that I have to pay for. Okay? So, government has checked its responsibility, and that is why GBC has taken this path. And for me, it is about time the president, together with the Minister of Information, sit down and see how we will resource the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation so that they will be able to even pay their electricity bills. Recently, before the end of the year, you saw what happened.
It was on,
when some stations were being closed. And these are agencies that relate directly to the citizens of this country, especially in remote areas where some of our networks are not able to reach. If we want to send information on health, on civic education, mostly it is the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation that do some of these services. So we need to resource them, give them the adequate, because it is a public good. They offer public service. And so therefore, if we want to sustain that services that they render, government needs to resource them adequately so that they will not resort to what they want to do now. Because it will not be in the interest of anybody.
Okay.
And government will be blamed if these courts are to go on and for people to be put behind bars because of this offense.
TV license.
Okay. Just a small point of correction. Rural information dissemination is actually the primary function of the Information Services Department that is situated at the Ministry of Information. I mean, over there too, as usual, as has become the norm. The last time vehicles were procured for them for that work was somewhere in the era of President Kufuor. I mean, if you look at it right now, at my last check, they had about 2 or 3 vehicles that were actually running.
For the whole country?
Yes, and I stand to be corrected on that, but at my last check, those are the figures I got. I'm aware that the current Minister of Information, for instance, is in this year's budget, he put it out there that they needed to procure some vans with new equipment for the Information Services Department. And generally, the Information Services Department is being revived, is being revamped, and hopefully this year, those new vans will be brought in and will go on. The point is, government is always a continuum. It must continue. So if one government comes and does something, another government must come and continue. Another government comes and continue. But if we allow such a long period of neglect of such critical state institutions that we get to where we are, the other side of it, and I'm just putting this out there so that the general public is also aware of it, is that, you see, I understand the fact that, yes, it's government must resource, but the truth of the matter is that we have limited funds. You can't run away from that. Today we are talking about education.
So you're not suggesting we shut down GBC?
I'm just seeking to say that it has been put out there that government must resource GBC. I agree. But
is it put out there, or it is government's duty to do that?
So I'm saying that it is government's duty to do that, yes. But the information has been repeated again that government must resource and all of that. I agree. The role of government is to look at all of these competing interests and find ways and means of resourcing them in such a manner that will ensure that we are able to develop this country equitably for all persons. It's a very difficult task. As we sit currently, the biggest problem in Ghana is job creation. How to create jobs for the people of this country. Now, if you're a government, for instance, yes, GBC is there. You need to put in money into GBC and ensure that it operates at a certain maximum level. There are also job creation models that you need to look at. This year, the government is talking about the Nation Builder Score because at least it's an intervention. The same way that we did the youth employment, now what is called the Youth Employment Agency. So we have to juggle all of these things. And it's not an easy thing. It's not an easy thing. That is not to say that a TV license model is justifiable, particularly with the setting up of these courts. Personally, I think that is a step too far. Personally, in my opinion, I think that the setting up of these courts is a step too far. But in saying so, I must be frank to admit that we must not blame the Chief Justice because she could not have done anything but what she has done. At the end of the day, it comes back to GBC. And to be fair, I'm aware that in the past few years, they have been taking a lot of steps to ensure that people paid their TV license fees. I'm aware of some calculations that have been done, that if even 10% of the population pays their TV license fees, GBC will be in a very good position. Very, very good position. If they're able to collect...
That is really run efficiently.
And the point is, if they're able to collect just 10% of the estimated TV license fees that they have to collect, they run efficiently. I agree. So perhaps they should have found more ingenious ways and means to convince people to pay. But the setting up of the courts, I agree it is a measure of desperation. They are desperate at this moment, and so they'll take some of these things. But it's a step too far.
Okay, right.
We should rather use this as a platform to engage in that national discourse. They should use this as a platform to put out their issues and get the buy-in of the general public to collaborate with them, and all of us should come together to ensure that we do something about it.
Right.
But this threat is a step too far.
Right.
I've seen people already suggesting that they will be the first to go to jail for
not paying. Yes. In fact, it is very, very annoying for such courts to be instituted just because people do not have the resources to pay TV licenses.
But like Nana said, I mean, we cannot blame the Chief Justice for. I mean, she is only doing what the law says.
Yeah, but if there was no government's taxi support, I don't think that letter would have even gone to the Chief Justice.
Oh, I because see. The letter GBC, from the Director General.
Yeah, exactly, they have a board. Government has representation there. In fact, the chairman of the board is a rep from government. So you see, we've all been in government, and we know how these governmental organizations operate. This is with the taxi support of government. It wouldn't have gotten to that level because letters have to be written. The board has to agree as to what they needed to do.
So the chairman of the board cannot take a decision without resorting to government?
May I ask a question?
That is what you're saying?
May I ask a question?
Yeah, you may ask.
Who signed the letter to the Chief Justice?
Well, we were told the DG of Ghana.
Exactly.
And you have evidence?
Oh, please.
Unless you allow him. So I was asking.
It's governance issues that we are discussing.
I was asking that what you have been in government before. So you're saying that the chairman of the board cannot take a decision on his own or her own without consulting perhaps government. In this case, the ministry he or she, that institution is under.
You see, it is a chain.
Okay.
Okay. all these institutions are under the Ministry of Information.
Right.
Okay? They are all under the Ministry of
Information.
GBC
is under the Information
And
Ministry.
the various institutions that have been formed, they are governing bodies. Whatever they do, they ensure that their minister, okay, is aware of what they intend to do. Because government has a policy. Okay.
So you are alleging that
government wants to ensure that
should have been in the know of this letter.
I'm just making it clear for my brother to understand what goes on when it comes to governance.
But that
on
is
some
to
of these
assume
issues.
that I don't know.
No, we shouldn't assume that government is not aware.
Okay. I'm not saying
that is why I'm bringing out this.
Okay.
I've been on several governing boards and I know how they operate. The board cannot operate outside
so by what you know from previous experience, this letter, which perhaps a copy should be lying with the mother ministry.
Of course, definitely. Okay. The decision would have first taken from the board. That is where the decision emanates. Before management will implement that decision. It is not up to the board to implement, no. The board takes the decision and then management implements, okay? So before that letter is written, definitely you can't tell me that government is not aware of the decisions that have been arrived at or the minister in charge. You cannot convince me unless maybe that minister is not up to the task. Because once you are the minister...
You mean he is left in the dark?
Exactly.
Okay.
It is your duty to ensure that the ministries, departments that are under you, especially the boards, whatever goes on as the minister, you should be informed.
If the information minister has no knowledge about this letter, he can't take the DG of GBC on.
Well, he's giving his support to the board. And therefore, the decisions of the board, it is the decisions of government because they are in to ensure that government's policy is actually enhanced.
Is it possible also that the board will take a decision without informing the minister?
The minister has the right
to query them?
Yeah, to query. To call the board chairman.
Why did you take this decision without informing him?
Exactly. He has that right. I just want to dispel the notion that government is not aware of. No. It cannot be possible.
Okay. The point I need to correct here is that you see, in a haste to draw government into this.
No.
Can I finish? Can I finish?
I'm sorry.
You just relax. Nana, can we totally take away the information ministry's knowledge of this decision?
See,
can we take it away?
I sat here and I told you that, look, as to all of that, I have no knowledge of it at this present moment. I'd want to find out. I was categorical in that. Theophilus is saying that...
But he has been in government and says that these state institutions work through their mother ministries and then to the various... And so
the government structure.
Is it strange? And that's why I'm saying that the haste to draw the government into it and direct... May I finish? And direct the eye of the people against government. Is it,
no.
Please, Theo.
We can make this issue very easy.
Right, if I may land.
The board is sitting there at the behest of government.
I agree.
Is it possible that the board can take a decision without informing government?
So and I'm saying that based on the sort of analogy that is being made, one, human beings are not robots. Policies are there. Governance structures and mechanisms exist. But in working, you've been part of the governance systems before. You know, a lot of things happen that are not all the time according to the methods and procedures that have been laid down. Which is why I said that, look, I am not aware of this thing at this present moment. Therefore, I will not make any further comments on these matters before I go ahead, because you are saying that it is a governance mechanism and that there's a board. The minister has given a status support to the board, and so they could not. And so by implication, everything that's done by the board has a tacit support of the minister. I hear you. There are several allegations of corruption where boards were involved and all of that. Does that mean, therefore, that the ministers were also actively in the known of all of those corruption issues? There's an NCA case. May I finish? May I finish? May I finish? Theo, may I finish?
Go ahead.
Theo, may I finish? There's an NCA case in court now, where the board took a decision and the implementation of that decision has turned out to be quite troublesome. the board chairman of NTA, among others, have all been dragged to court. But what you are seeking to say, it means that the minister was in the know of everything that happened. And so the minister at the time should be held responsible for all of these things. Let's not, that's why I'm saying,
isn't it the court that will decide if the minister was in the know?
The point I'm seeking to make, therefore, is that let us not put ourselves in a cul-de-sac. These things are verifiable. These things can easily be checked. We can find out and make a definite pronouncement on these matters. As we sit here, I do not know. Honorable Theophilus does not know for a fact. What he's saying is, this is what should have been. That's all he's saying. This is what should have been.
What is the role of
Can GBC ever take a decision without the information ministry unaware? Is it possible? The GBC
look at the law of GBC and all the amendments that have been made in the year. I mean, throughout the years. That will answer this question for, which is why at this moment I am saying that, well, these things need to be verified. Because even now, the status of GBC as a public broadcaster raises several issues. Who do they account to for their internal...
GBC's budget is from the information ministry. We know that.
Well, the point I'm seeking to make to you is that
whatever money they spend is from the information
ministry.
ministry.
But what happens to the internally generated funds?
That we would not know. But the point is that if the information ministry gives money to GBC to operate, would they be able to take such a decision without informing the ministry that this is what
I'm telling you that there are instances, you see, that's why I'm saying that the status of GBC itself is a disturbing matter. And we need to look at all of these things. Because in as much as government does give money to GBC, GBC doesn't take all orders from government.
Including this one?
That's not what I'm seeking to say. The point I'm seeking to establish is that the current status of GBC creates issues. A lot of issues. Government can influence some things in GBC. Government cannot influence some other things. There are certain decisions that if government decides that it wants to go there, GBC will rise up, and there have been several instances throughout the years. If you speak to the ministers of information during your time, they will tell you the difficulties that they had in attempting to reform GBC over the years. And these are factual.
Right.
You understand me?
Let's move on.
Let us not therefore
I'm sure in the course of the week, this issue will come to a conclusion.
Right. The truth of the matter is that the minister has oversight responsibility.
Nobody is denying that.
Hold on.
So he may be aware
of
this.
If this decision is not a popular decision, I don't think even the board will allow that thing to be implemented. Okay?
A popular decision among the board.
When it comes to management, the minister has no oversight responsibility
over the
management. Okay? But when it comes to policy, what is the government's policy? Is it the policy of government to ensure that those who don't pay TV licenses are prosecuted and therefore courts have to be established? That is the policy. That is what I'm talking about. And not the management.
That's not true.
Yes, so let government come out. See, let the minister come out and tell the good people of this country that we are not in support of this.
The point also needs to be made that it may be the policy of government that GBC needs to find ways and means of sustaining its operations. In attempting to actualize that, the management of GBC may be, and again, because of the limitation of facts, may have agreed that, okay, we have a law that enables us to collect TV license fees. Our collections are down, so we need to take some measures. Does it therefore mean that the policy of the ministry is that GBC should set up courts? You're sitting here, and we are all. May I finish? We are sitting here, and we are all at this stage.
If the information ministry gets to know that this decision was taken without its knowledge,
so you see, that's why.
How angry should the information ministry be?
That's why I'm saying that as I sit here, you are calling upon me to give my opinion on matters that may or may not be.
But you think it's not a popular decision to set up these courts?
I have said
within the law,
and I stand by it, that I do not think it's a popular decision. But what the question you're asking me is calling me to give opinion on what may or may not be a fact. So my stance on these matters is, listen, we can easily verify these things.
Okay.
So let us wait, withhold judgment on these matters, and have the facts.
The court starts sitting on Thursday. People can get jailed
Today
for this,
today is Tuesday. I believe that within the course of tomorrow,
we'll hear from them.
It will happen. Let's not be in a rush to crucify individuals or persons over this matter. And
nobody has been
indirectly, that's what you are seeking to do.
Or persecuted, no.
Indirectly, you are seeking to direct the anger of the people against the government on this.
We just let the truth.
What is the truth?
You cannot tell me the minister or the ministry is not aware.
Don't do that.
Johnny, good morning once again. Some comments in quickly, and then
loads and comments. I think that this conversation should go on for the next full hour, so that we can. It says, "Good morning, Nana. Where is Kwame Sefak?" Okay, so well, it says, "Where is Kwame Sefak this time?" Because when this issue about TV licenses popped up in JM's regime, he stood up to help the poor Ghanaian, and now Ghanaians are rich. Ghana is watching all of us. Aaron in Avrongo is pointing accusing fingers there. Alasan Wananwa says, as the new year begins, let's cast our minds back onto the achievements of the MPP government, which are the following: free SHS, fertilizer subsidies, restoration of teacher and nurse allowances, establishment of the Zongo Development Fund, employed 11,000 graduate nurses, establishment of the Office of the Special Prosecutor, abolishment of the nuisance taxes. Okay, good morning, TV3. This TV license fee is really disturbing. What type of program do they even have on their TV? That's GTV you're mentioning there. And there's no money in the system, so the government must do something about this issue. When the economy is well fixed, we can now pay the so-called TV license fee. Agbagba Eric from Adenta. Abbas Amogobo, incoming constituency secretary of Vinci South, says this incompetent government will surely kill us with setting up court not to deal with criminals, but an ordinary TV owner. Let's not forget about their numerous promise to abolish nuisance taxes. We are now seeing the true colors of President Akufo-Addo. What is this government up to? TV license for what? I live in Takwa for the past 8 years, and I couldn't access GTV until I bought a decoder. This government must find innovative ways of generating funds to revamp the entity. This obnoxious and pre-Cambrian era laws, let me tell Nanado, we are in Takwa and are ready to go to jail. We're watching Mark in Takwa. Thank you. Happy New Year to TV3. Setting up the courts to jail TV license defaulters is a misplaced priority. Where is the court to jail the people who have stolen, are stealing, and will steal taxpayers' money through different means? What toll does GBC show as program to warrant any fees served? Salome in Georgia. Good morning, Bright. I want to know if those who use their smartphones and other gadgets to watch TV are going to pay TV license. Thank you. Bright in Dunkwa says that one. I'm sure we can pause here so we take some more.
No, it's not. A phone is not a TV monitor, so you don't have to pay.
He wants to know.
Okay. All right, Johnny, well, thanks so much. Now, let's jump onto this one. President Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, in today's newspaper, page 4, has expressed his 2018 resolve to quicken the pace at which his government delivered in its 2016 electoral promises. 2017, I said I was a man in a hurry, but in 2018, we're coming with supersonic speed, he said when he visited the technology exhibition fair organized by Christos. He said that his man in a hurry comment was made during his first State of the Nation address. Now, the times in which we live demand that we all be in a hurry to deal with the problems we face. Government had been keen to point out that it had achieved more in a year than the previous NDC government did in 8 years. President Akufo-Addo is on record as the first president to assemble his team of ministers within a space of a month. 2017 saw the MPP government on a launching spree. So, planting for food and jobs, one district, one factory, digital property addressing system, the national ID card, all these are what is being launched. And the president said he's moving to a supersonic speed to fix them. Now, quickly, there's a speed that is quite lightning. That's what we're likely to see in 2018 from what the president said during the festive occasion.
So when you look at what has happened so far in the governance of the MPP in this country, we came to meet an economy that was not in very good shape. We came to meet a system that was largely broken down. The arrears that were in the system were not even known. There were a lot of issues there. We came into governance and the president's attitude towards these problems was that, look, I did not come to complain about them. Let's put our hands to the wheel and let's fix it. Whilst we're fixing it, he also began to put in place some very key and necessary interventions that were supposed to help the people of Ghana. He also went about immediately trying to deliver on the promises that he made to the people of Ghana in his 2016 campaign. Obviously, he has not been able to fulfill all what he wanted to do in the year 2016. For example, we promised that we would try as much as possible to ensure that 51 factories would have set off in various districts by the end of 2017. We have not been able to achieve that promise. But a lot of work has been done on ensuring that these factories will come up. We've also gone on the economy and attempted to stabilize the macroeconomic situation. All the indicators, all the indices today are looking or pointing towards the right direction. I'll repeat this once again, that I'm very happy that the CEO of Vodafone, one of the largest multinationals in this country, made a statement to the effect that now their plans can be carried out and carried through because there's some element of stability in this country. Despite all of these things that we are doing, there still are large problems that have to be dealt with. And we are in no means saying that we've created a paradise in 1 year. We are, as we continue to pat ourselves on the back for a job well done, we are telling ourselves that, look, there's a lot of work to be done. And we do not think that governance is such that we'll sit down and do it at our own pace. The people of Ghana are looking up to us with a lot of hope, as we campaigned on the basis of hope, to be able to deliver on our promises, to bring them an improvement in their lives. So the president is saying that, look, I have done some things. I did not achieve all the things that I wanted to achieve, but I've made quite significant gains. But most importantly, a certain foundation has been laid, and we would stand on that foundation to ensure that we move ahead at a faster pace to deliver the promises that we made to the good people of Ghana. Our friends in the NDC, of course, are going to be, by virtue of their by virtue of their position, and for their own political faith, because you see, if we deliver, then they will be stuck in the abyss of opposition for a very long time. So by virtue of that, they are going to dispute everything and raise all sorts of allegations to the effect that we cannot do it and we have not been able to do it, among others. Look,
were you expecting anything different?
That's why I'm saying that by virtue of by virtue of the fact that they are political opponents, I do not expect Mr. Theo here to say anything in favor of what the president has said. Look, I don't know, I wasn't born by then, but I heard Achampo, one of these elderly persons, I suppose it was Achampo, who made a statement that in effect, what it means is that what you are saying is good, but we have heard, but we won't listen. So I do not expect them to say anything other than to oppose an attempt to bastardize this government. But the point I am making...
Would it not be right to say that you promised a national ID card and we're yet to see the cards? Would it not be right in saying that? Okay. Is that simply for their political fortunes?
When they bring
or they may be saying the fact?
When they bring this up, I'll say that this national ID card project was started in 2008 by President Kufuor. Over 8 years of your tenure, you weren't able to do it. We have
but you promised to do it in 1 year. You have not been able to do it too.
I agree.
If they're 8 years, they didn't do it. You said 1 year, you've not been able to do it.
I agree. And that's why in my submissions, I submitted that we have not been able to do everything that we felt we should be able to do. And that's a clear fact. I've also said that we are not claiming that we've established a paradise in Ghana over the last 1 year. As we continue to pat ourselves on the back for the moderate efforts that we have made, we must remind ourselves that a larger part of the work remains undone. So we need to put our hands to the wheel and drive ourselves harder. But for the opposition, who is now coming to us to tell us that in 1 year you have not been able to do national identification, no problem. You came to meet a system.
Is it opposition?
May I finish? May I finish?
Is it opposition?
May I finish?
I'm coming to you. Please go.
Be comfortable. I mean, you're expressing too much.
This is 2018.
So be comfortable. Okay. Relax. You will have your say. You came to meet a mechanism in place for the registration of Ghanaians and the issuance of the national ID card. After about 2 or 3 years, you said, okay, there was a problem. You scrapped the entire system. After we spent millions of Ghana cedis on that project, you now came to say, okay, we now have to issue an entirely new mechanism. And so in 8 years, not a single card was issued to anybody in this 8 years. Someone came and said, look, I will do it in 1 year. at the end of the year has come and said, no, I wasn't able to do it as promised. However, a lot of work has been done. In this year 2018, I will be able to do something about it. If not for anything at all, that criticism shouldn't come from you.
Okay. I'm grateful.
Look at your own track record and be ashamed.
I believe that the criticism should come from the same MPP.
No. You see, Ghanaians, I think they are fair-minded.
The president says he's moving with a supersonic speed in 2018.
Governance is not rhetoric. It is about performance. Okay? Per the 1 year, let's look at the track record of the MPP. Per the promises they gave Ghanaians, the things that they wanted to do within that 1 year. Which one were they able to achieve? We can mention the free SHS that they implemented. Nobody is in doubt. So if my brother wants to know.
But you doubted the fact that we'll do it.
Please.
You did.
Please. Just allow us.
But
you see, the president cannot look into the eyes of the good people of this country and tell them that for the 1 year, and what he's done surpasses the 8 years of the NDC.
But that's what he said.
Yeah, that will Kromuha.
Is
he saying Ghanaians are asleep? Ghanaians don't know the achievement of the NDC within the 8 years.
But they certainly don't have a short memory.
You were given the opportunity. Let me
but I
make
also,
my
you did the same. So I'm just
allow him.
replaying your same point. They certainly don't have a short memory. No, but they certainly don't have short memory.
Let me give you the floor.
I just need to make that point.
Please.
Let me give you the floor.
I just need to make that point. That's all.
Please go ahead.
They certainly don't have a short memory.
Please go ahead.
You see, from a whole year, Ghanaians had to pay for 110 ministers that was put up by this government. We had to go through that painful experience as a nation. Even foreign countries have to were mocking Ghana. Now look, a population of 28, 110 ministers. Look at Nigeria's population. How many ministers? And the president told us that, look, the essence of this large elephant-sized government is to ensure that we will be able to achieve our mandate, what we've promised to do within the year.
Within the year?
Please, but what is the budget meant for? What is the budget meant for?
So there is a budget issue.
Oh, please.
Not a mandate issue.
Allow me to talk.
Yeah, but I just...
the good people are listening.
I don't want to say, don't get distracted.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
They are confusing matters.
I just
There's a difference between a mandate and a year. So look at it.
Please go on.
Look at how much we are paying as citizens of this country for ministerial appointments. Look at the
it's less than the NDC.
Look at the railway ministry. What have you achieved over the year?
Building of railway lines.
Which railway line?
Okay.
Tell us. We are listening. Which railway line?
Are you aware?
Don't invite him.
Oh, but you've invited me.
Yes, you should tell us which
railway line. Are you aware that work currently in the Western region, work is ongoing? Let me finish. But you've asked me a question.
Keep quiet.
I should
when it comes to railway issues, you don't have the facts. You don't have the facts.
I don't have the facts. I'm a Takadi boy.
It's not about you being a Takadi boy.
My friend, don't confuse matters when I don't want to do that.
It is not about you being a Takadi boy.
But it's a fact.
Not a single railway line has been established.
Oh, see, Chief.
Please.
Railway lines don't... No. Railway lines don't come in a day.
Oh, please don't
He
distract
invited me.
If you allow him to land,
But he invited
I'll
me.
come to you if we have the time.
He invited
you
me.
allow him to land.
Get into this discussion.
It will help you.
What will...
Okay.
Look.
Please go on.
Corruption is one issue that this government stood upon to come into office. And this government has lost that support that the people of this country gave them during the elections as a result of the fact that within this same period, 1 year, the government has showed that it is not interested in fighting corruption.
Because he hasn't prosecuted former appointees.
You know how to fight corruption. Look at advanced countries that are determined to fight corruption in their countries. Within their own governments, when people are alleged to have been involved in corrupt practices, they ensure that those people are brought to book.
Same thing President is doing.
In this government, it is always a cover-up. It is always a cover-up. And look, I'm not the one saying this. The good people of this country know what is going on.
And the good people of Ghana are telling us that we should prosecute the people in your government.
Hold on. Look at the budget that was made for 2018. Look at the inflated budget that was brought before the good people of this country. But we thank the minority that they were very smart. They were ready to ensure that they held government accountable.
That's not
and
true.
as a result, they brought those things out to the fore.
The minority didn't bring it out. It's not true. Don't seek to
Are you the only stranger in Ghana?
Yes, I am the only stranger in Ghana.
Facts are facts.
The minority didn't do that, so don't do that.
Don't
claim that. They sat in there. They saw everything, so don't do this.
Then I allow him to.
And you are making allegations of corruption.
Listen.
Prove one. Mention just one. I beg you. You just mention.
So the good people of this country.
No, you just mentioned.
No, it's not up to
but
me.
it's not the good people of Ghana who are saying. You are.
Please go on and
mention one.
Today is the 2nd of January. Okay? I want to remind His Excellency the President, in the budget, the last State of the Nation address, he told the good people of this country that come January 2018, the good people of this country are going to enjoy 13% reduction in electricity tariffs.
Yes.
Today is the 2nd.
Yes.
We want to know when the reduction is going to take effect. We've never forgotten.
Nobody said you have.
No, but today is 2nd.
No, so
the year starts on the 1st. Today is 2nd.
Yes.
So I need to remind His Excellency the President. I believe he's at the Flagstaff House.
I work at the Ministry of Energy. No, you've raised an issue. I work at the Ministry of Energy.
So when is it coming?
Okay, there are 29 days left in the month.
Are we going to receive it in February?
May I finish?
We're told that in January. And
yes,
today is
and so I'm saying that today is the first working day of the year. Is that not true?
It is.
Today is actually the first working day of the year.
Right.
So could we have done anything before this point?
Why not?
Let me finish. An announcement was that, listen, the announcement was, I'm coming. The announcement was that in January, it will take effect. That's what was said. True or false?
And today is 2nd January.
So I'm telling, Chief, no, that's not what I'm saying. The point I'm making is that we are in January. Let's see, because you see, if you are going to be built,
is it retrospect?
Let me finish.
Are we going to have?
Let me finish. How do you know that? How do you know that decisions haven't been taken already?
Please.
How do you know?
Reflect. Then you should reflect.
So wait till you get your January bill and tell me that it hasn't reflected.
No,
but
we buy credit on daily basis.
What are you seeking?
No, it's prepaid. Please. It seems you are not getting the facts right. It's prepaid.
All right.
It's not postpaid.
Now they are seeking straws to clutch on.
No.
Very interesting.
I am not.
For a minority.
Listen, this country, we are never asleep.
But you said people have short memories.
No.
The president then said that people have short memories.
Today
you think Ghanaians have forgotten of what the NDC government did?
Today is 2nd January.
Yes.
Mr. President, we are waiting for our 13%.
The president has delivered and will continue to look.
The promises he made.
FHS has been done.
For the Ablekuma
Necessarization of allowances.
Member of the NDC. And Adam Wai is a member of the NPP's communication team. Gentlemen, I'm grateful.
The people of Ghana know. If we fail, it will help you. So
and
enjoy.
Those of you who sent your comments, we're also grateful. We'll read them after we come back from the break. Stay with us. We have sports after this.
It's a brand new year, brand new season. Great to have you back on the award-winning show. According to the Ghana Journalists Association, this is the best morning show you can find in the west coast of Africa, and we're proud to have you as our viewer. And welcome back to a very interesting conversation with the reigning queens of the most vibrant, culturally based pageant in the west coast of Africa, Ghana's most beautiful. The winner, the queen, Zainab, representative of the northern region, has joined me. Also, Baba of the central region, was the first runner-up, has joined me. Plus, we have a representative from the Satguru Travels. They've made possible the trip to Dubai that we told you about. So the ladies will be flying straight out of Ghana into Dubai. Courage again. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome.
Thank you.
Happy New Year to all of you.
Same to you.
Okay. I'll start with the Queen. New Year resolutions, you have any?
With my New Year resolution, I pray for success with health, and I pray that may the Almighty Allah guide us so that we'll be able to achieve our goals and then keep working for them.
What goal is that?
Okay, actually my project is on reducing maternal mortality in Ghana, but first of all I'll start in the northern region. Yeah, so but apart from that, I would like to also work on certain projects as well. I'm not just going to be based on that. Any cycle I think is going to bring about development to the country, I'll work with that one too.
I see.
But I'm just concentrating on reducing maternal mortality.
Is the money coming?
Oh, for now.
For the project.
For the project, you know, with TV3, myself and the Crown and everywhere I go, people are ready to support me with my project. And I think it's something I'm...
Hello, Baba.
Hi, Jeremy.
What's up? So
Good.
How did the Christmas go for you?
It was amazing. I was working throughout the Christmas period.
okay.
Yeah, so it was amazing being in the hospital with my patients.
I see. You were with the patients.
Yeah.
So you never had like a candle night light dinner. So
no, I haven't.
But you have plans for it.
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right, sure. You want to make him popular?
No.
Okay. All right, sure. So you just confirmed that you have a boyfriend now. Congratulations to you. So
thank you.
Yeah. New Year resolutions you got?
I've stopped making New Year resolutions.
You stopped? Why?
Yes. I realized I go all religious for a period of 3 months and I just switch. So
Why?
from last year, I don't know. So from last year, I decided not to make any New Year resolutions.
How did it go last year for you?
And I think it was one of the best years.
It was.
Because I had a chance to be a part of the Ghana's most beautiful contestants. And all being so good. Aside that, there have been really good things happening that happened in 2017. So I've stopped making New Year resolutions. All I want to do is take my work seriously and then do what I have to do.
Right.
And I believe that the purpose for that year would obviously come.
And one of the things that they have to do is to travel to Dubai, and made possible by Sadhguru Travels and Tours. Courage, you are representing Sadhguru. We promised and we're delivering. Tell us about it. What are you flying the ladies out?
Okay, they are supposed. I think we're going to ask me my New Year resolution as well.
You have, okay, so let's start from your girlfriend first.
Okay, I'm married.
Okay, so yes, I mean, your wife is still your girlfriend, technically. Or you have other issues?
Oh, no, please don't put me in.
Sure. Okay, so let's start with your New Year resolutions, first of all.
Just like Baba, I've stopped making New Year resolutions.
You've stopped?
Yeah.
Zainab, you're on your own.
It doesn't really work for me as well. But my goal for this year is to trim the family park and try and get a six-pack. I mean, it's way too big.
I mean, round is a shape too. Courage.
It is more like a family park.
Yeah.
So I want to get a six-pack this year. I don't know how it's going to work out, but I'll do my very
But if you have the six-pack, it would appear as though you don't have money. Now, if you have the round pot belly.
Sedentary life.
But why the six-packs?
Why the six-pack?
Yeah.
My wife said I should get six-pack, so I'll get it for her.
You know, round is a shape too. So, yeah, round is okay.
I hear you.
But we promised and we're delivering. Thanks to Kenya Airways and Sadhguru, we're flying the ladies out. When are you flying them out?
5th January.
Okay.
All that thing's been called. 5th January. They should be out from Ghana to Dubai.
Today is 2nd.
Nairobi. Yeah, today is 2nd.
So
3 more days from now.
3 more days and they'll be out.
Yes.
Flying to Dubai.
Yes.
I see. What's the situation in Dubai now?
Around this time is still a bit cold, but it's a bit dusty. But I'm sure they'll have fun because the hotel is a 4-star hotel, and the vicinity is also very nice.
I see.
So they will enjoy it.
What else are they to expect? I'll come to them so they'll tell me how they feel about it. But 4-star hotel is very serene, nice people and all of that. What else are they to expect?
Okay, so the first day when they get to Dubai, they'll be chauffeured from the airport right to their hotel.
Okay.
Then the next day they're gonna have a Dow cruise.
Okay.
That's like 2 hours on a ship with unlimited food.
Okay.
You get to meet other people from other parts of the world. The second day,
foods that they know.
They'll try something new.
Okay.
They'll try something new, but I mean they're adventurous. I can tell. So I'm sure they'll love
Ladies, foods that.
But not with our tummies.
No, Don't worry.
Trust me, it's safe. It's safe. You would love it.
Okay. So they'll have the Dal cruise and
have the Dal cruise.
Yeah.
Then the next day is going to be half day Dubai city tour.
Okay.
They need to tour the entire of Dubai.
Right.
Visit the Dubai Mall, Emirates Mall.
Okay.
They need to go to Burj Khalifa. You're going to have in 1 minute you move from the first floor to the 124th floor. That is amazing.
Amazing.
In 1 minute.
Amazing.
So that's for the second day.
Okay.
The third day, they're going to have desert safari.
Oh.
Camel riding, face painting, unlimited food and drinks. I mean, it's going to be exciting.
It's going to be exciting for them.
Yes, it is. And Dubai is where our head office is, so we know the terrain very well.
Okay.
So they have nothing to worry about.
Nothing to worry about.
Yes.
Would they meet the sheikhs and possibly become, like, you're not married. And Dubai is Islamic. If you meet a sheikh there,
but I just want to marry a Ghanaian.
Oh, you just want to marry a Ghanaian. So it doesn't matter if it's a sheikh. No. But are you ready? Are you ladies ready for the trip?
Yeah, we are ready. We can't wait.
Which of the things he mentioned got you really excited?
The desert.
The desert.
Yes.
You don't like the food part?
My tummy.
Your tummy.
I don't want to play around with
careful,
it.
But you like the desert. How about you, Zainab?
I like the food.
The food?
Yeah, I want to fill up those gaps, you know.
Okay. You have Rollins chain.
Oh,
this is okay. It's for the queens. It's for the queens.
And I think we would like to make good use of the place. Maybe when we go, we have a photo shoot and all that.
Right.
Yes.
They are all part.
Okay.
Photo shoot and everything, meeting and greeting people. I'm happy for you, ladies. So you're moving out on the 5th. Are you ready? Are you prepared? Have you packed your stuff?
We have.
Oh, you have?
Hey, watch him.
Oh, my packet of that.
Da.
Oh, Charlie. Sadhguru, if you are delayed, oh, Charlie, courage. The ladies would have gotten you angry. But let's come back to life after the crown. Now you're going to Dubai, you come back, and usually in Africa, when you travel out and come back, people think that you have it all, and they would want all manner of things from you. How has the crown been treating you after you start wearing it?
It has been faithful, and I think it has been successful because wearing this crown alone tells me that I have a lot to do as a beauty queen. I don't need to relax. I just need to work with my projects. Okay. So after I'm back from Dubai, I'm thinking of launching the project. Okay. Then I start to work as early as possible.
I see. Yeah. Baba, how about you? Your
good.
patients see you. They saw you on TV and they're unable to.
You have no idea.
Tell me about it.
I sometimes have to hide when I'm entering the hospital.
Why?
You know, they had posters of me all over.
Right.
So immediately they see me. Then they come and stand in front of me doing that.
Yeah.
And then immediately I get to my ward, a number of wards, so they start shouting, Ghana's most beautiful. Oh,
all of them? Wow, this is
there's one particular patient who does that.
Yes,
it has been good, but I feel very fulfilling and satisfied. Going back to realize that the people I was fighting out there for really appreciated what I did for them. So I'm very
Are you
satisfied.
starting your projects right after Dubai as well?
Yes, I'm looking at first quarter, so probably February. By end of the first quarter, I should have launched my project.
Now, I want you to tease out those of your friends who couldn't make it to go to Dubai with you. Tell them something that will make them, or perhaps somebody who wants to come and join Ghana's Most Beautiful next year, and you know, tell them something.
Okay, so to all my ladies out there, see, this is the first time GMB is bringing something like this.
Straight out of Ghana.
Straight. GMB 2017, straight out of Ghana.
So I heard somebody did that and did this. So when a plane flies, it lands. Anyway, so tell them something. I mean.
So my dear ladies, this is the first time something like this is happening. So I'll urge all of you. Next year, I don't know what package. In fact, this year, I don't know what package is going to come up with.
We'll fly them to the moon.
To the moon, eh?
Yeah.
I believe TV3, they can do anything. Everything is possible with TV3. So just don't relax. When you hear you see some of the promos on GMB 2018, just don't hesitate. Just run and come and get the tickets.
Zainab, you have the final word on this one.
Okay, to all the ladies out there, GMB is one of the most prestigious beauty pageants in Ghana. And then whatever they say they will do, they do it, and they even do it much better. Because I just don't even know what to say, but the little I have for them is they should believe in themselves. Anything at all, decide their mind or decide to do. When they put in hard work and a bit of determination, they'll be able to succeed.
So you have the car, you have the crown, and you're traveling to Dubai. It's good for you. Is the money finished?
Oh, I've not even touched it.
You have not touched it. Have you touched yours as well?
I haven't too.
But why have you not made donations to me anyway? I mean, it's all good. So, Courage, Friday, is that it? The ladies are flying out.
Yeah, 5th January, Friday.
That's Friday. Yes. The ladies are flying out.
Yes,
and we hope that everything will go very well. Thank you very much, Courage. And from Sadhguru, New Year message from Sadhguru.
New Year message from Sadhguru. Okay. We thank our corporate clients and our working clients for doing business with us all through 2017. We pray 2018 will be better. They'll continue to support us and patronize our services. Thank you.
So the ladies are flying to Dubai. Thank you very much, Courage. Thank you, Baba, and thank you, Zainab. They are flying to Dubai on Friday. You understand? So next year you have to play your part well. And thank you to Kenya Airways as well for making this possible for us, and to TV3 as well. We'll be back after this break with some more here on New Day. Stay.
Welcome back. Let's do some entertainment now. The entertainment calendar has begun on a good note for music fanatics as nominations for the 19th edition of Ghana Music Awards has been opened. Of course, the organizers are saying that only projects that were entered within January 1st and December 31st of 2017 last year will be considered.
Just a day into 2018, and organizers of the Ghana Music Awards have opened nominations for the 2018 edition of the annual event. In anticipation of who wins what, the nomination period spans from January 1 to 31. A statement released by Charterhouse said further details would be communicated in a news conference at a later date.
Anywhere you there, I go there. I said it, Coco.
Prior to this, some artists that had been tipped to win in certain categories, especially that of the Artist of the Year and New Artist. Kwame Eugene and Kiddy from Lynx came out strong in 2017 and played on almost every show in the year under review. King Promise had lots of hits and collaborations alongside playing major shows. He stands as a major competitor on the New Artist of the Year category. The likes of B. Fobona, Kwesi Arthur, Kel Songs and Darko Vibes cannot be left out either. As to whether or not they can meet the requirement would be determined by the board, as the category will surely be a tough one.
Every night and day, my mission is to want me, but I didn't want to know my mission.
The 90s bad girl Ebony has been tipped to win the most successful musician in 2017 and a strong contender for Artist of the Year. Songs like Hustle, Sponsor, Date Your Father and Mamishe have been major forces. If the odds go in her favor, she would make history as the first female artist to win in that category. Well, time will tell.
See, I've got myself a sponsor. Anything me ask, get it bye-bye. Even though it's older, but I got
They're very active.
Well. So that's VGMA coming up for you. Certainly whoever will win, I'm sure, would deserve it, hopefully, because there's always controversy surrounding. But right, last year, I was going to say what she said, but we'll save it for... No. It's too early. It's censored.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah, it comes with a particular
sound. So I think that we'll be very keen watching what happens.
Yeah.
For me, I don't want to, how do you call it, jump the gun or what. But I think that some artists really deserve to be given that award. If a real deal is about how well the person has performed, how well that person has entertained Ghana, how well that person has sold his music or her music. So we're looking forward to it, how the Vijayama Awards will go and see how well it will go. But I have a favorite. I'm waiting to see.
We all know your favorite. We know who you're rooting.
The nominations.
The VGMAs is that its own set of challenges. However, the right to choose who gets onto the nomination list rests with the board, the academy as well. They decide. We've had instances where songs are popular, but you know the board will tell you, well, a certain line in the lyric or something didn't sit really
Johnny,
well.
and that's what I'm always
But
against.
see, Bright, see that's because it's first of all a professional society that's come together to want to put this, you know, through.
But,
they would want to push the best.
Is the music made for professionals only?
Well, but the music is just like movies are not made for professionals only.
Right.
But there's
judge.
a professional body that judges
Right.
it. So yes, everybody could be doing a morning show, but the GJA thought that the board that came together thought that, well, the elements in our morning show, how we present it, how we say what we say and what we do,
We met whatever criteria.
Yes. So why don't
Put
you
us in the
leave
lead.
these decisions to the people who watch the show?
Well,
the people who listen
people
to
play
the
a role.
the people
They
who
have
vote.
like a,
No, I am
exactly.
thinking that they should play a greater role. For me, I'm against a situation where so-called professionals sit somewhere and say that this is best.
But right,
I
I would disagree with you because
Yeah.
you see, there are elements in music. For example, the intro, the outro, the bridge, the chorus, the verse, hook, and everything else. The ordinary man on the streets doesn't know.
But who's the music for?
So relax.
But who's the music
Relax.
for? No, Johnny, I know
The music is for the people. I understand
Yeah,
where
that's-
both of them.
yeah.
But the person
But
who
the
actually
professionals are part of the people. Are they-
Exactly.
are they
The
part of
person
the
who
people?
decides the quality or whether the music, you know, qualifies to win an award. The people don't give awards.
Do you know that the issues that you're talking about quality, the person listening to the music doesn't really care about it?
That's true.
Okay,
but right.
So I like the professionals suggesting that a song A, B, C, D, but where they become the people to say that this is what is best. For me, I have a problem.
No, but they
with
give
it.
you a
That's my
set.
view.
They give you a set of
Out of
songs
which to choose.
from.
Mhm.
A set
Great.
of songs to choose from.
Yes.
So that if you will, I mean, a song like Solo by what's his name? Article 1 last year was nominated. People were hoping that it will win, but the same public that you're talking about didn't.
No, I
really
don't have a
vote
problem.
for
I'm
the song
saying
to
that
win.
don't let the professionals hijack the listeners. Allow the listeners to have a greater role in deciding which
But
song.
that's where you have an issue.
Right,
It's
there
not
must-
the
there
people
must
who
be a-
give awards.
there must
That's what
be a-
you must
there
understand.
must be a-
They have organized their a platform to give awards based on professionalism. So it's not about what you are
Amma,
hearing
then
that
every year,
appeals to your ear.
then every year, as I have known, the awards have become every year it ends and there's controversy. It is because the professionals want to be given the chance to say that ABC.
No, but right.
If the people, assuming that if voters are to have 80% say in who gets what,
Right.
who will complain? Okay, but where voters are only, let's say, 30%, and the so-called professionals decide that this song has key B higher than this one that has key low. Who cares about key B? Mine is my ears, and I'm listening to the song that is nice.
Right.
And so you listen, so you don't award them.
Yes, and I'm saying that give us the chance to say which one
But
is
even
nice.
with the 80%, you still have people saying we still don't like the person you
I-
chose.
it's not true.
Like Joe mentioned, there's still controversy whether
But
non-Christians will think, okay, he didn't
what is the
deserve
percentage
it.
of the
So-
people who voted for that?
Right. Aside everything, we're also not just doing these awards for just Ghana. We're hoping to export our music. Now, what is the weight of our music on the international scene? We've been playing this. It is for the public. Let the public decide for a long time. So we have people rising to stardom with very bad songs and songs that are not properly produced. On the international scene, if your song goes before the BET or the Grammys,
Right.
is it not any surprise that it is only Rocky Dawuni who, for all these years that Ghana has been producing music, has got the first Grammy nomination? We've been doing music. So it could be one or two things. Either we become too complacent, or we think that, well, let's not put the professionals there. I think,
No, John, I disagree.
Senior Bright, Senior Bright. There are songs that are entirely created. If you look at most of the new songs that are created, they are either a line or two or a riff or something that has been taken from an old song and to help
Just
their song
change.
go. If you put that song together and you put a fresh or creative song together that somebody has made,
Then the
I
fresh
would choose
person
that.
should go.
Great.
Yes.
Great.
So that
Based on talent.
I like
exactly
Johnny's
based on
argument.
talent. It
I
has
like
to be
Johnny's
original.
argument. I like Johnny's
Originality.
argument. I like Johnny's argument. Great. Now, the awards which year are we in? We're about, is it?
2018.
Which are, no, I mean, the
number of years, it's been more than a decade or so.
Which song that won the most, or the artist of the year, which of the songs, has shot through Ghana to the international market? Which of them? 10 years.
I'm saying that in the last...
You're suggesting that when the professionals pick the song, it means that it's quality. But I'm asking that 10 years, which of the songs that has won the artist of the year is shot through the international?
Well, I mean, not just the artist of the year.
Are you suggesting that are you suggesting that Osibi says who did not get these professionals saying that their music is good? Do you know the songs that they did and how it was on the international market?
I mean, no professional will say.
I'm not saying to scrap the award. Right. What I'm saying is that let us give the public who listen to the music a greater role in deciding who wins what.
The public have a decision. I'm saying that no professional
how
will say
much
that
decision do they have?
songs are not good. I am saying that if you put a certain song in there, there's an analogy that's been made. I think Wooter's Big Dreams and other songs were taken to, I think, South Africa for a reggae festival. It was only Big Dreams of Wooter that got past. All the rest, either the mixing was bad, the dynamics was not well, and all of that.
Which we wouldn't appreciate as
regular people here. But when you need to go on the international stage, you need to raise the level.
After 10 years, you can only talk about one song?
No, it's not one song. Stonebwoy was nominated for the BET. Kojo was nominated for the BET.
Did he win? Did he win?
Oh, no. I mean, Stonebwoy won the award. I mean, Mobo and all those African awards, they've been winning those awards.
I am talking about the
You're talking about the artist of the year.
Kojo I know Kojo win any artist. So if his song shot through some international something, perhaps it is own
is revered. I mean, male vocalist of the year.
Kojo is liked. It is not any professional who is saying that Kojo is good. Kojo is liked by the people who listen to him.
Irrespective of whether they say you're good or not, if you think you're good, you're going to make it.
So give it to the people to decide who wins what. Let the people decide. Give them 90%.
On that note, I think that the Arts Writers Association of Ghana, the Arts and Tourism Writers Association of Ghana must pick up this story and start writing about Kwame Dazi, Mike Yamwa, and William Esidu and all the rest. They should start writing about some of these things so they can educate the public. But happy birthday to you, Audrey Nadole. It's your birthday today. If it's your birthday today, happy birthday as well to all our friends at Holy Trinity Spa and the Kombodi Hospital. It was fun hanging out with you. Enjoy and be good. We'll see you tomorrow.
Have a good day. First working day of the year.